Whoever is ready to sacrifice his life for freedom will break the chains of oppression, and that is what is symbolized by the Resistance faction in Red Chaos, the Strict Order. Fans of the Command & Conquer style real-time strategy games will be very pleased to hear about this game being developed by Square Cut Games. After a total world war devastated the Earth, a place called Greenland was spared from contamination and destruction. As the Lords of War became aware of the extent of the destruction, they agreed on a truce and discussed the establishment of a common world order. Greenland was to be the site of the new world government. However, instead of building a just society, the powerful grew in power while the civilians were oppressed and neglected by the Iron Hand regime. Amid this dissatisfaction, former generals, soldiers, and other rebellious citizens formed a resistance. Although their resources are limited, they use their military experience and skills to build a powerful army. The struggle between the resistance and the Iron Hand is one of sacrifice, deception, and strategic choices. The resistance fights not only against the physical superiority of the Iron Hand, but also against the suppression of their ideals and values. With a classic approach to real-time strategy, you'll be gathering resources, building bases, and producing units for battle in either campaigns, skirmishes, or online multiplayer game modes. With a wide variety of unit types from rocketeers, artillery tanks, explosive drones and trucks, floating buses tossing out exploding barrels, to super weapons of orbital plasma cannon strikes, triple airstrikes, and tactical nukes, there's a lot of cool ways to destroy your enemies in Red Chaos, the Strict Order. To pay for these units, you'll need to gather resources using harvesters, use engineers to capture oil towers on the map, or build resource-generating structures once you've unlocked them. Repair your structures or units at a cost using top bar abilities, use scouting tools to discover your enemy's tactics, place a variety of defensive turret structures, and unlock ultimate abilities to really take control of the battlefield. Something that certainly adds a little spice to Red Chaos, the Strict Order, is also that many of the units you can make have activatable abilities. These abilities are not so intrusive as to completely overrun a battle, and they do have a cooldown attached to them, but they are a nice addition to a battle to make things interesting. Having looked through the gameplay footage and information that we have about the game so far, I've definitely put it on my wish list. I certainly can't wait for the release of this one. But another thing that I can't wait for is to reach 1,000 subscribers. If you've been enjoying the content on the channel so far, maybe this is potentially the second or third video that you've seen, make sure that you've hit the subscribe button and more importantly, hit the notification bell so that you get a bit of a ding dong when I do upload a new video. It's completely free, and that way you keep up to date with all the latest news about real-time strategy games. As always, thanks so much for the support. Now in this next game, well, what if Earth was invaded by aliens, but these aliens are actually humans? Sounds crazy, right? Well, in a new RTS game currently in development called Tactical Warfare, that's exactly what's happening. A group of humans from a parallel planet to Earth is seeking out a new home after the destruction of their own, and they try to invade Earth. As you'd expect, it won't be so easy. They face resistance from the indigenous inhabitants of Earth, who consider this an alien invasion. With the scene set, in Tactical Warfare, you'll embark on an immersive and enthralling narrative of interstellar exploration, colonization, and unyielding conflict. It's a strategy game with a classic perspective system and an enhanced artistic style, where in order to excel, you must create a tactical battle plan and balance between defense, offense, and resource acquisition. As alluded to earlier, the game consists of two main factions, the Terrans, who are the army of native citizens of Earth, fighting against an alien invasion of the Asalian, who are humans that come from a planet similar to Earth, but are still light years apart. Each faction in the game will have different and unique elements, with varying combat abilities and styles, including tanks, combat vehicles, various types of aircraft, soldiers, and apparently even robots. The game plans to include a campaign with missions for both Terran and the Asalians, skirmishes versus AI, free-for-all, and online multiplayer game modes also. These modes so far are pretty standard for real-time strategy games, but the game also plans to have a siege survival mode, which you can already playtest on Steam, as well as an outmaneuver challenge mode, where players are given specific units to battle with, without any of the base building components being needed. You can use these abilities in live combat action or third-person shooter modes. I've not yet seen this mode in action, but the concept definitely sounds very intriguing. Now let's take a look to the skies with Airborne Empire, a real-time strategy game with also a big focus on city building. A unique city, in fact, that you build, manage, grow and keep flying in the skies. In Airborne Empire, you'll traverse a vast and rich open world full of new danger, exotic wonders and many hidden treasures. Amongst all of this, you must manage lift, balance and the propulsion needed for your flying city. There are many threats to stave off, including sky pirates that will seek to upend the city's tranquility and the kingdoms below. Only the clever and daring leaders can grow and protect their homes, seek out and destroy enemy strongholds, and finally unite the peoples of this world. Your city will grow through research and exploration, where you'll find yourself deep in an open world full of rich characters, dialogue choices, side quests, and lost marvels. By helping the peoples below, you'll gain knowledge to develop new technologies, including new lift, propulsion, and morale buildings. You can also get access to better tools for defense, offense, and against the pirate threat. You'll also have defensive towers, cannons, and attack planes that can be researched, upgraded, and augmented with tools found by coming into contact with the world and unraveling its mysteries. The game is available to play as a demo version on Steam right now, and if you are interested, it's been pretty fun to play for me so far. You get a really strong base building itch being scratched, and it's a game that feels very familiar in style with others such as DinoLords and Frostpunk, but with an entirely different theme, with full systems for building upgrades, fires, sickness, injuries, light, morale and augmentation relics. There's plenty of things to discover. If players can manage the challenges along this adventure, they'll find themselves the leaders of a sprawling sky city, with enough prowess to defend against any incoming threats. It shall be the capital of a harmonious empire, the Airborne Empire. Taking things to the sea, Moduwar is a unique take on real-time strategy. You take control of a Modu, an alien creature with the ability to grow different organs, split and merge them depending on your playstyle as you take on mysterious creatures and explore unique strategies in both single-player and multiplayer game modes. With early access release planned for early 2025, you'll be able to explore Arcadia, the magnificent and mysterious alien planet that Moduwar is set in. The Modu are native to the planet Arcadia, where they have lived peacefully for millennia. They have been changing and adapting their modular bodies to suit their needs. Their peaceful existence came to an end, however, when two warring races brought war to Arcadia. The invaders enslaved the Modu, using them as biological weapons. You take the role of a Modu, serving the Earth Repatriation Expedition. However, will you fight under them, or break the shackles and set yourself free? Your choices will determine the fate of life in the galaxy and in the Moduwar. What if dinosaurs featured in a real-time strategy game? Well, in DinoLords, you'll gather resources, build fortifications, and command units in defense against the invading Danes with their arsenal of fierce dinosaurs. It's set in the year 985 AD, where Eric the Red makes a discovery on his voyage to Greenland that would forever change history. Encased in the Samitsiak Glacier, he finds ancient eggs that, when thawed and hatched, produced creatures that hadn't walked the earth since the dawn of time. Dinosaurs helped build the settlements of Greenland and were brought back to Scandinavia to be domesticated and later bred for war. In 1002, the King of Denmark, Sweyn Forkbeard, launches the first dinosaur-powered conflict with his invasion of England, shocking the defenders and forever altering the course of history. The English king, Ethelred the Unready, is fighting a losing battle against the invading forces. He sends his son, Edmund Ironside, as a last resort to defend his kingdom and learn the secrets of these great beasts. It's a real-time strategy game featuring medieval city building, action-packed battles, and well, dinosaurs. After building a thriving settlement, attracting villagers, constructing and upgrading specialist buildings, you'll be ready to train and enlist your army. Construct your fortifications and man the ramparts as the enemy attacks with an arsenal of fierce dinosaurs. You'll need to give strategic commands to your troops and keep your own sword and bow ready with a player-controlled protagonist. DinoLords is a game which merges the strategy of RTS with the immersion of an action RPG in a brew that is both nostalgic and entirely new. Hot off the press and newly announced, we have Project Citadel, a real-time strategy game that pitches itself for a new generation of gamers. You'll need to liberate the galaxy from the evil Voltari Empire in this sci-fi roguelike where fast-paced action combat meets deep strategic squadron management. Project Citadel says that it flips the strategy genre into something new by blending quick and rewarding gameplay with the depth and replayability that strategy games are known for. You'll be expected to battle your way through the Voltari space on a mission to free the sector from their rule. It won't be easy, but you have a secret weapon to aid you in your voyage. A secret relic that allows your mothership and crew to regenerate at the edge of the Voltari space, again and again, as you uncover the story's twists and turns. You'll be able to build your fleet of squadrons from a diverse stable of ships, where each instance is uniquely rolled so that it's a fresh challenge every time you play the game. With the action being described as fast-paced, with skill-shot special abilities, you'll be able to turn the tide of battles by using well-timed and well-positioned special abilities. Now, we don't have a huge amount of information about Project Citadel, as it's only just been announced, but it has been made mentioned that the developers have been involved in well-known games and franchises in the past, for example, Age of Empires. Now, take from that what you will. I certainly won't be reading too much into that, but I certainly will be keeping an eye on Project Citadel. Now, bringing things back to the ground again, you'll need to conquer enemy nests and lead your colony through the perils of the forest in Empire of the Ants. It's a photorealistic, third-person real-time strategy game where you command your insect legions in epic battles. You'll experience an immersive journey and defend your lands through tactical and strategic battles in an epic, microscopic world. You play as the 103,683rd Ant Warrior with an inquisitive mind, exploring the Federation and fighting for it, conquering new territories, exploring, strategizing, and forging alliances with the local wildlife. This will be crucial to emerge victorious from the many challenges lying ahead. For battles, you can choose from a roster of units from support to super predator legions and upgrade your nests to access new and stronger legions. You'll be able to opt for units such as the defensive snail or the mobility of the rhino beetles. To build your army, you'll need to conquer and upgrade your outposts and adapt your strategies by building the right chambers. Build your economy, manage your legions, gather information on the battlefield, gain new powers, and strengthen your defense. In Empire of the Ants, there's a variety of game modes to choose from, including the solo campaign, skirmish, custom lobbies, as well as a ranked 1 vs 1 matchmaking, and even free-for-all matches. That's not all though, as whilst the game is already released, there's a roadmap for 2025 showing a lot of new developments and improvements to get excited about, from new game modes, new units, new powers, new factions, new maps, and more. This wildlife setting for Empire of the Ants is certainly a breath of fresh air when it comes to real-time strategy games, and the mostly positive reviews on Steam shows that it's doing very well. Speaking of doing well, it looks like real-time strategy games have been doing very well in the last few years, and considering the many games we have to look forward to in 2025, It's certainly an interesting time to be a real-time strategy game fan. In fact, you'll be able to see a lot more of what you should get excited about for real-time strategy games in the next video, and that's on your screen to click right now. Wishing you a very fantastic and prosperous 2025, and I'll see you next time.